A Brooklyn Park man is now charged with arson after allegedly starting a house on fire. According to the criminal complaint, 22-year-old Jazz Roberts lit a couch on fire in the garage of a group home on Georgia Avenue last week. The complaint says a witness saw Roberts start the fire, then use a log from a neighbor's yard for fuel. He allegedly threatened firefighters with a large stick while they attempted to extinguish the flames. Roberts was already on probation after pleading guilty in assault and robbery cases. A man accused of fleeing police and causing a collision that killed a little girl in Brooklyn Center has pleaded guilty. 29-year-old Hakeem Muhammad pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts. According to the criminal complaint, Muhammad was wanted on a murder charge when police spotted him at a gas station. Muhammad then sped away. The complaint says Muhammad was traveling more than 90 miles per hour when he caused a crash that killed 6-year-old Blessings McLaurin Gray. The girl's sister, who was 15 at the time, also suffered a serious brain injury due to the crash. Muhammad is scheduled to be sentenced next month. Historic investments in K-12 education. That's what DFL leaders are saying about a bill that provides more than $2 billion to schools.
And it's our job to partner with our families and our communities to ensure that they have the tools to support our scholars so that they can reach their fullest potential. Members, this bill does that.
The Minnesota House passed the bill by a 70-62 vote. It provides a 4% increase in per pupil spending next year and another 2% increase in 2025. The bill also provides for inflationary increases in future years. Republicans who spoke against the bill say it doesn't do enough to address the state's literacy crisis.
Our bill was going to put in $250 million to really fund literacy in the K-3 grades. And that's really important, members. And we are missing that. $35 million a year is not enough to move the needle.
Another part of the bill, civics and personal finance courses would be required for high school graduation. The legislation now heads to the Minnesota Senate for a final vote. The housing development proposed in Brooklyn Park by a former NBA player took another step forward this week. Devin George is proposing to construct an 83-unit apartment complex near Zane and Brooklyn Boulevard. The $26 million building would also offer a commercial kitchen and serve as a business incubator. The project has been in discussion for several years. To help with rising housing costs, most of the units would be considered affordable, which some council members had mixed feelings about.
The reality that this 2-bedroom at 80% AMI, that rent is still $200 and some more than my mortgage tax insurance payment on my 4-bedroom single-family home.
The council has not yet given final approval to build the complex. Demand for more child specialty care services in the Northwest Metro has led to a new medical center in Maple Grove. Children's Minnesota opened a specialty center adjacent to its primary care clinic on Bass Lake Road. This particular location will expand cardiovascular services for children, as well as provide care for ear, nose, and throat.
It helps us bring our specialty care to families in communities where they live, which is incredibly important. When you have a sick child, there's a lot going on in terms of a lot of appointments and a lot of things you need to do, and having that care closer to home makes that easier for families going through that experience.
Children's had used this space for administrative services, but when COVID hit and workers shifted to remote duties, Children's saw it as an opportunity to provide additional services. Later this year, the Maple Grove Center is also expected to add care for cancer and blood disorders. A senior from Champlin Park High School has received a special gift that will help get his college career started on the right foot. In this week's Standout Student, we introduce you to Kayvon Raza, who's putting his outgoing personality and magic skills to good use. Exercise is important at any age, but that's especially true for people in their golden years. On Fridays at St. Therese at Oxbow Lake in Brooklyn Park, these seniors get to experience the workout known as cardio drumming. It's a 40-minute workout that requires constant movement.
And after you've done some of the songs a couple of times, you wake up in the middle of the night going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's a lot of fun and it's good exercise.
Leading this exercise is Kayvon Raza, a Champlin Park senior who's a familiar face. For the last year and a half, he's taken time out of his schedule to volunteer at St. Therese once a week.
My parents have always preached the importance of giving and how in order to receive in the first place, you must give, right? So I thought about volunteering, and then I remembered St. Therese. You can come, just stand right next to me.
Aside from leading the cardio drumming classes,
So Forrest is gonna give the book 3 more taps.
he also keeps the seniors entertained with magic tricks.
To a book with pictures, and now a fully colored coloring book.
The residents here say they appreciate his presence.
He has a bubbly kind of personality that he connects with older people. Not everybody can comfortably do that any more than older people can connect with younger people all the time.
Yet connect he has. And while Kayvon didn't set out to volunteer for any sort of personal gain, he was rewarded for his selflessness. Kayvon was one of 2 recipients of St. Therese's Youth Volunteer Scholarship. The $2,000 scholarship is awarded annually to recognize youth volunteers who enrich the lives of seniors. But the seniors aren't the only ones whose lives have been enriched.
Also, it's helped me. I feel like coming to St. Therese has raised my confidence. You know what I mean? Being able to constantly talk to and get more comfortable with, the older generation.
An older generation that has high hopes for the future because of volunteers like Kayvon.
I can't but have hope going forward. The world will be a better place.
Kayvon will attend the University of Minnesota's Carlson School of Management. He says he still plans to return to St. Therese to volunteer when he can.
Just before conference and section meets each spring, the 3 District 279 high schools get together at the district track and field meet. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Maple Grove, the site for the District 279 track meet. Girls 100 hurdles on the right. Park Center's Layla Moses edges her teammate Maya Woods. Woods later wins the 300 hurdles. Boys 110 hurdles, and Linton McPherson of Osseo rolls to an easy win in a time of 15:04. He also takes the 300 hurdles. In the girls 100, defending state champ Jordan Borsch of Maple Grove holds off Shanika Chapman of Park Center. Borsch also wins the 200. Boys 100, in the middle of 3 Park Center runners, Maple Grove's Charles Roush wins in a time of 11:01. To the boys shot put, Osseo lefty Shandon Anderson with a toss of 41.5 here. That earns Anderson second place. The winner is Maple Grove's Andrew Dotson-Rod. His best is 41.11 to take first place. Back to the track, and Park Center wins the girls 4x100 relay. Their time is 50.65. In the girls 400, a quartet of Maple Grove runners is led by the winner Abby Oakland. Her time is 1:02.27. The boys 400 is close. Osseo's Ahmed Kadar overtakes Logan Herons of Maple Grove late in the race for the win. Surrounded by his family, longtime Park Center coach Bruce Smith receives an award for 50 years of coaching in District 279. Back to the races. The girls 800 meters is won by Mackenzie Laux of Maple Grove. The Crimson girls win the meet with Osseo second and Park Center third. Boys 800, and Gannon Ferens wins for Maple Grove. Osseo wins the boys meet by 5 points over Maple Grove. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
All 3 schools will compete at the Northwest Suburban Conference meet next Tuesday and Thursday at Elk River High School. An NFL player with deep roots in Brooklyn Park will be back in town next month to give back to the youth in his community.
From Brooklyn Park to the National Football League, Amani Hooker has made it to the show. And now the 5th-year pro is giving back. Hooker is hosting a 1-day free football camp on Saturday, June 10th at Park Center High School. The event runs from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and is open to youth ages 8 to 14. Current Pirates head football coach Jordan Salas says it's a big deal for the youth in his community.
I think it's thoroughly important. You know, Amani coming back to where his old stomping grounds and to give back to the communities. I mean, he's a living legend around here, you know, and the kids, you know, hear about him a lot, especially for me, because I was fortunate enough to be on that coaching staff. And for him to be coming back to our community and give us a free youth camp, I just think it's a great thing.
Hooker was an all-state player at Park Center, graduating in 2016, where he excelled on both offense and defense before becoming an All-American defensive back at the University of Iowa. He's played 4 seasons now for Tennessee.
I personally follow Amani's career every Sunday, try to watch him as much as I can. I'm just proud of him, man. It's awesome. I mean, I know he started varsity here as a 9th grader, and he played only corner at the time, and then all of a sudden you get from 9th grade to junior and senior year where he's playing corner, safety, wide receiver, running back, and everything. So just to see where he's come from and where he is now, it's been an amazing accomplishment for him, but also for the community.
Youth can register for the June 10th camp at amanihooker.eventbrite.com.
And that's all for sports. More CCX News after this.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.